Welcome everyone, this is Joni at Granny J Clay, and I was just sitting down to play a little bit, and I thought I'm going to bring you into this, so hopefully it won't be too long of a video for you, but I just want to, I had an idea. I wanted to take this cutter and make some sort of a bird with it, and I don't know if I'll make earrings, but here are the earrings just in case I do, so I'm going to move those out of the way for now, and we'll see how this goes. All right, I saw a picture of a bird shape on Pinterest, and it looked very similar to my cutter, and so I thought, well, maybe I could make a bird. So that's what I'm going to try to do. But first, I think before I do anything, I will probably put some feathers on this. That's what I'll do. Okay, let's see here. I'll use the black again, I think. Black seems to work well for, the black ink is what I'm using. It's this one, the archival ink. And let's see, I know I used that other feather the other day. And that was pretty, that was actually pretty. But I have these feathers too. This is the one I used the other day when I made some birds. Let's see here. If I have anything else in there right now. I think I'll try this one. And we'll just see how it comes out. So I better put my gloves on because I don't want my hands full of ink, and I'll take my sweater off here. Hope you guys have had a good morning so far. It is, what time is it here? Oh, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's very overcast here. They keep saying we're going to get a little bit of snow, but I'm saying no, it's springtime. We'll see who wins on that one. All right, so I'm going to just bring this over here, press it, press it, press it. It's a little barrette, that's all it is. And see if I can get some black ink on it. And I think I am. And I want to have it all going in one direction. And I think I'll go down with it like this. Yeah, we'll do that and just see where this takes us. It's just fun to play with new ideas. I have my pieces from yesterday. I've got them under the resin light. I resined them yesterday, but I'm putting more resin on them today, on the backs of them. So if you hear a beep, that's what that is. Let's see, I'll come back in here a little ways, like that. I'll show those to you. Oops, there it goes. All right. Turn the timer off. I'm going to leave them under the resin light. It doesn't hurt to have them under there longer. I just wanted to make sure they were under the light for a while. Sometimes I get extra spots here, but I use a Q-tip and a little alcohol to get those off. Either that or they get covered up in the next set of feathers. Put that up there, come in here a little bit. And let's see, come in there best I can. There we go. My husband has a call into his doctor. He's been having a pain in his left side. And it's the very spot that they extracted the prostate from. And but he said it doesn't feel like a healing pain. It's just, it's a pain, which comes in the evening usually, but sometimes during the day too. So he put a call in just to see if he could talk to the doctor about that. So we'll see what happens with that one. other than that, he's doing well. He's enjoying getting out with the puppies again, which is wonderful. He likes to walk the dogs. Okay, we're getting there. Have you guys ever read a book called The Harbinger by Jonathan Cahn? Oh, I just finished it. It is so good. Now I'm going to see if I can read his next one, which is called The Return. And so we shall see. I didn't get that one very good in there, but that's okay. We'll just leave it. I should probably just go up here. I'll finish this off. Okay. Now I need to let that sit for just a few minutes to dry, and then we'll cut something out of it. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I thought I would try to let it dry a little bit, and I did. We'll see if it's dry enough. But what I wanted to do is I took out these little pieces, or these little cutters that I have, that I have birds. Let me show you those here quick. I have birds that these little wings go to. And I thought, well, why don't I just try to make a wing for our bird up here? And I'm not sure what size to use, but I am thinking possibly this size. All right, we'll see. Let's just see how it works. I'm just going to cut one out. This is just playing, so why not? And I think I'm going to take a piece of plastic and put it over that so I can have a little bit of a beveled edge. And with the, if I can get it off of here, I'm getting low here. That's about all I have. And it's out of the box, so it's kind of hard to grab. So this is just the saran wrap kind of a thing. And I'm sure you've seen other people who work with clay use these. Let's see if I can get my wire out of the way there. Okay, hopefully we're good. Okay, I'll pull this off, and I'll just put it over like this. I understand there's other people are getting some snow. One of the gals that I know just through my YouTube channel, her name is Diane, lives in Wisconsin, and she said they have snow, which, you know, it's not unusual for that area because I come from South Dakota. I know what it's like to get, we had snow once in May, well, more than once, I think. So I get that. But if we get snow here this late, then it just comes and melts right away, usually. All right, let me see. How do I want to do this? I want to have this part up here be the head. I think. Maybe not. Maybe I might want this part to be the head. We'll see. Well, let's just give it a go here and see what we get. I'll put it up here just to, let's see here. What I want to do, make sure the feathers are going in the right direction. And get my little acrylic block out. You're hearing my other phone go off too. Okay. You kind of have to push a little harder when you have the saran wrap. And hopefully that middle ball right here comes out. This one right there. All right. It looks like I might have to go over it again. Yeah, I do. So let's just do it. Do it, do it, do it. By the way, this is turquoise granite by Primo. Oh, I'm so glad I have some Primo clay left. I've been trying to use up my Cernit simply because it's so soft. It is they have gorgeous colors, just gorgeous colors in it. But I find it very difficult to work with, and even to pull up off my glass mat here. When I'm done with the piece, it distorts the piece then. So that's not good. Let's see here. Let me see. Okay. I'll lay that there for a minute. And we still have that in the middle. Let me see if I can get that up with my blade. Okay, I shaved a little off. Oh, and the middle came out. Yay. Okay, let's get that off. Let's put that up there. Put it in with some other clay. All right. Now, let's see. Let me see here. What do I want to do? I think it would be cool to have the head coming in like that rather than up here. Okay. This is just a trial and error thing, you guys. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Okay. Now what I'd like to do is I would like to see if, I wonder, oh, that's not going to work that way, is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I was thinking that the wing had to point that way, but it does point this way. Okay. Well, let me see here. Let me see. Where do I want to put this in? Now, I don't need to have this so much. Have a beveled edge. So, try to wiggle it a little bit and see what we can come up with here. That's good. Okay. Let's see if it looks decent on there or not. Now, let's see here. Where can if I can put it on here, and you can see how you get frayed edges. Anyway, what I do is just take my finger and smooth it out for now as best I can, especially because I'm putting this on top of some clay. I don't want the frayed edges to stay around right now. So, oh yeah, that'll look cool. That will look cool. In fact, I might even stretch it. Let's pull it. Let's pull it just a little bit. Stretch it just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put it right about here, maybe. I want to slant it a little bit more. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. So that will be the bird. And I don't want such a pointed beak. Okay. And I think what I'll do is put an eye in with some ink as well. Let's see, or I'll use one of my ball tools for that, perhaps. So I'm putting it on my ink pad again, and I'm going to go right in about here with that, and I'm not going to press real hard, but I'm going to press with a little bit of pressure, and I'm going to twist that ink off. There we go. Okay, that's okay for that. Put the ball tool back, wipe it off. Okay, what else do I want to do? You know, I think I'll put this on, the bird on one of my patty papers. Make sure that there's not any, this is wonderful. No frayed edges with Primo. Love it. Okay, here we go. And let's just put it here again. And then you can kind of see what it's shaping up to be. So there's the bird. Now, let's see here. What do I want to make it look more like a bird? How about, let's see, what tool can I pick out? some really old tools that I bought at Michael's, carving tools, and this is one of them. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like a half a scoop on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to dip it into the ink again. So I hit the top of this into the ink, and I'm going to make a beak like this. Okay? Oh yeah, that worked okay. Except I should have gone a little bit further to that side. See if I can do this a little bit better here. There. Okay, now you can see that it's kind of a beak. Now what I'd like to do is I want to put some feathers into the wing, and I think just some texture. So I'm dipping. Hopefully you can see this. Maybe I can bring it down a little bit more. Okay, so I go back to my ink pad, get a little bit more ink, and so the feather is just the feathers that I put on with ink prior to this was just for a backdrop. But now we're going to give more dimension to this, I think. And I'm going to get one up here too. And you know, as you start doing this kind of a thing, you see, oh, I should go up there. Oh, I should go over there. Okay. Because I want you to be able to see that I've got this scallop in there to look like a wing. And I just keep walking back to my stamp that has, or my ink pad that has black ink. And I know once I get into the pattern, you can't really see it, but I will still continue with the pattern that way. And it kind of pushes the clay and puffs the clay a little bit too as I'm doing it. There we go. Okay. Getting close to being done with this wing. Not quite there. Okay. Yeah, I like that look. Okay. And you can tell, I'm going to try to bend the head down a little bit more. I'm going to wipe this off. There, can you see that a little bit better? Now what I want to do is get a different tool from that same pile of tools. But this particular tool has it's made into a V. So let's see if I can get a couple of those out here. Yep. All right, so here's two of them. And I don't know if you can tell that it's a V, but it is. And we're going to see, I think this one's the bigger one, so I'm going to use the bigger one. And I am going to go back here. And this time I'm going to start here. Now you won't see very much here yet, but when I get down into the blue area, you will. So it doesn't make a semicircle, it makes more of a V. So this will have a little bit different pattern up here. And yet I'm not pressing hard, just getting it to have some texture. And yet coming around like that, and that, and right there, and right there, and walking it around all the way like that. Okay. I have a sister who is still living in South Dakota, and she said she hasn't been feeling well for a while, and she's not getting over it, so she's got to call into her doctor too. She didn't say COVID, but she wonders that. And they just got done taking care of their grandkids. So I'm just going to continue to walk around here. And I'm sure it's hard for you to really see all these marks, but they're there. Trying not to get the wing as I come around. I don't want to mess the wing up. It's got a different marking. So this one wasn't very dark. There we go. This would be, of course, for a necklace. I'm finding out that people really do like birds like I do. I guess I just love nature and animals. I love animals. When I was growing up, my uncle had it was a farm, because he put grain and everything in his field, but he also had horses, and oh my goodness, it was a new place they had built, a new house out on this land, and he invited us out, to all of us kids out, to come out and ride horses. But once we got there, he said, you can't ride horses until you pull weeds. So let me turn this down so that doesn't bother us anymore. So all of us got together and decided, yeah, it was worth going pulling a few weeds. Well, we pulled more than a few. He had planted so many trees, new trees, rows and rows and rows. So we went out and pulled some weeds for, oh goodness, a good couple of hours at least. And then we were able to ride the horses. Okay, I want it to come down like that. Pretty dark, isn't it? Not sure if I'm liking that or not. I'm going to get this one back. I'm going to go back to the wing, and I'm going to press it down here. So I went back to the scallop one, and I'm just pushing the edge down a little bit. It just looks too, just doesn't look a part of the bird to me. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I think, is to add a little bit of sparkle to it. Thinking about how I want to do that for sure. I don't really want to cover up anything. And yet, let me see. I'm going to go back and look at my picture that I had from Pinterest, and I will bring it up and just kind of see. Yeah, okay. One thing I could do is put a little bit of a mouth in up here. And so I'll do that. Almost looks like the bird's smiling. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Wipe this off again. It's pretty dark, isn't it, you guys? It's pretty dark. You know, you could do it, you can do this so many different ways. This is just my first try, but you wouldn't necessarily have to put the feathers in the back. And now I have to give it a little bit of sparkle so it's not so blasé. Let me think about what I want to do with it. You know what? What I might do is, I might pull out my pen Pastel. Okay, yeah, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, I have my pan Pastel in white out. I was going to get silver, but I wanted it to be a little bit brighter than silver. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I've got a baby wipe here that I've been wiping things on, so I'm just going to take my ball tool and kind of wet it on there. And then I'm going to just kind of dip it into here and see if I can get anything to come off. Oh, I can, okay. There we go. I don't even know if I need my ball tool. Oh, I like that. There we go. That's going to bring it up a little bit. Okay. And we'll just put some dots here and there. Gotta go back and get it wet because it doesn't want to pick things up if it's not damp. Put it over here. So dip it into the wet wipe, dip it into the pan Pastel, and I want more of a random dot, so I need to get out a little bit more. Okay. I'm not so sure. This was going to be my favorite bird or not, but I can see how it could be really pretty with maybe, you know, make the wing a different color. Do some different things on it. But here you can, it kind of makes a distinction that the wing is there, which I like that idea. Well, come on. Come on. There we go. My husband's upstairs watching TV because we have an open staircase. So I don't have a door to close, so you will hear the TV in the background often. Not much I can do about that. Okay. And the doggies like to sit with him. I think they all nap together pretty much. Okay, there's that. That's interesting. I'm just giving some thought to what else I can do here. And when I get kind of stumped like this, I set things aside and I come back to them later, and then I either choose to finish them or I don't, because I end up not liking them. It's just part of what I do. The more I play, the more ideas I have, so I just have to keep playing. That's helpful to me. So let's just do that, and now I can put a rhinestone in there for his eye. That would be fine. And that would give it a little sparkle, wouldn't it? Sorry, I'm just kind of in a thought process here. I do this too when you're not around. Okay, there, I'm going to bend his head down a little bit. I think that bird has a funny face. Maybe you do too. Maybe you do too. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to dip my tool into the wet. Oh, I do get some of it in there. Nah. Not enough to really do anything, though. Okay. Well. Oh, okay. I think I know what I can do to make it kind of pop a little bit more. Put my pan pastel away. You know, I don't know if some of you have these pan pastels, but these lids never want to quite go on right. You just have, oh, there it did. You just have to kind of play around with them sometimes. Okay, so that's that, but let's get out some of my rhinestones. Move that and that. And here's, this is where I got them from. Let's see, Blingy Thingy. So if you go and look that up on Etsy, or just the internet, you'll find them. So, and the neat thing is they send you this chart. I was not understanding their size chart, but then, let's see, oh, here it is. Then they explained it by this card that they sent, which is good. And I've got some of the size 16, I've got some of the size 20, and I've got some of the size 30. So I just put what I had, I just taped it on there to keep track of what I've got so I can remember. I don't need anything bigger. I don't really want to go smaller, so we'll see. We'll see. But I know people keep these, and these are the gifts that they sent me when I ordered. And I'm sure people keep their colors separate. I don't. I have this little plastic bin, and I just put all of them in there. And usually I can see the ones that I want. Let's see here, though. Or sometimes it takes me a little while to find what I want as well. So I think what I'll do is put I got a piece of beading mat here. I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I've got a beading mat, so what I'm going to do is just bring some of these out on the beading mat. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. And then I just can spread it out and see what I want here. And, you know, you'd think I'd want to go with black, but I don't. It'd be too dark all the way around. So what I want to go with is just this silver, pretty shiny silver. And it'll give it a little more glitz, a little bit more sparkle, but that's the other thing is they like to be they turn over on their noses, so I have to turn them around to find out what and where the ones that I want are. So, and here's some littler ones. Could add a couple smaller ones in there. Let's see. There's another one. There's another one. Let's see here. There's another one. Okay. I'm surprised my voice hasn't cracked more. I'm not sure what's going on with my voice. In the last 6 months, I've coughed an awful lot, and my voice is strange. It really, if I talk long enough, it squeaks, or kind of, I lose it. I lose the voice. I don't know. It's strange. It's kind of raspy sounding. I actually thought, well, maybe it's because of the resin that I use, or I don't know. But it's not happened to me before. My sister asked me if I take allergy meds, and I said no. Although I seem to have a constant drip and always have had since I was in high school. So who knows? Maybe that's part of it. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Well, I'll start with those and see if that's enough. Just going to turn it around here. Put this over here. I don't want to lose all of these off of here. And sure enough, if I leave that by my elbow, it's going to go flying. So let me just close this for a minute. And, okay, I'm going to bring back my birdie. And I'll get my tool. This is actually for fingernails. I used this one other time. This, it comes in this cute little tin. And it has 2 extra tips. This is wax. This tip is wax. And so what you do is you pick up the rhinestone with the wax end, and then you can adjust where you want it with this tip. Isn't that cool? But I think what I'll do is I'll start with some kind of bigger ones. I'm just going to lay them down. I'm not going to push them yet. So you can see I can adjust it a little bit. What I do is I just push them in, but I don't really know if I want them on there for sure. So I'm just going to do this. And you can do it with me. Okay, there we go. And maybe I better move that one over and add one, don't you think? So I think what I'll do is bring this down at sort of an angle like that. All right. Now I'll come back and get one of my smaller ones. Put it in there. Okay. You know, when I was growing up, my mom did all kinds of craft things with us. I don't even know how she managed. I mean, when I was growing up, there were 5 kids at home. Right before I graduated high school, my mom and dad had another baby, a boy. So sadly, I didn't get to grow up with him. But he lives close by me now. His name is Mark. So that's really nice to have he and his wife and his daughter close by. Okay, so let's see if this is going to work or not. I don't know. You know what? Let's try it. Okay. This is just playing, so I'm going to turn it around. I use a flat part of my X-Acto knife to push it down. I've used my finger before, but my finger isn't very solid and even, you know what I mean? So I give them a little push to get them down into the clay. They're a hot fix rhinestone. So once they go in the oven with the clay, they are stuck to the clay. But then, of course, I will generally come back and put a little resin on. Oh, that's kind of pretty. With a little tail like that. Well, it's different, let's say that. Now, anyway, my mom was phenomenal. I don't know that I want that blue eye, though. Do I want a blue eye, you guys? Hopefully I'm in... No, that's way too big. So let's do that'll work. It's shiny. It's black and it's shiny. So that's kind of pretty. All right. Make sure it's down a little bit further like that. And okay, my thought process is now, where am I going to drill my hole to wear this for a necklace? Do I need to take one of those out? Or will I hang it this way? And I think I'd hang it that way and make it more, you know, straight up and down. So I think what I will do, I'll use my X-Acto knife and pop this one back off. Yeah. And the hole that I drill can go right about there. Okay, I like that. I don't know why, I'm just not satisfied at all with this, but you know, it's my first one, so it's okay. You know what? I used to be afraid to try things because, well, what if it doesn't figure out and I'll waste the clay? No. What I figured out is if you don't try things, you will never come up with different creations. You've got to try. You've got to try to do some things. You're going to fail. That's all there's to it. You're going to fail. But it's not that bad and not that big of a deal. And I think I gotta stand up and look at it. Bring it down here so you guys can see it a little bit better. I don't know if that looks like a bird or a snake. I don't know. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go get my Pearl X. Okay, here I am. I ran and got this. When I cleaned my whole area the other day, I used to have these right next to me, but I put them in a cabinet just across the room, so I had to go get it. So let's try a little something, and I'm going to move this because I've said it before, Pearl X gets, excuse me, all over the place. So I'm going to bring a tile in. I'm just going to lay this because I want to save it. It'll be good for something else. And I'm going to move these too. But I think what I need to do is put them back. Okay, trying to keep you with me here, guys. All right. So I'm going to put these back in. I just ordered some more rhinestones. You know, when I first ordered, I wasn't sure what colors I wanted. And now I know a little bit more about what I like to use, so I'm sure that'll change over time. Also, okay. All right. You guys have these little, they're not Tupperware, they're more just like a little plastic thing you can buy in the grocery store, Rubbermaid. They're so handy. They are so handy. Okay. So let's come back and then I'll bring you down a little bit further. Okay. And I'm going to put my handy dandy little tool away. That helped me put the rhinestones on. And my ball tool, my X-Acto knife. I'm trying to clear the deck is basically what I'm doing because if anything is close, it will get Pearl X on it. And that's probably the other thing. I probably have gotten Pearl X in my lungs because I do have a mask and I do wear it occasionally. Oh, I should wear it more often. Okay. How are we doing now? Pretty good? Okay. So I'm going to open this up. Well, before I open it up, I'm going to tip it so some of it gets on the lid. And then I'm just going to tap it a little bit. I'm going to use the Pearl X that, you see the fumes? I don't know if you saw that or not. Let's see here. And then I'm going to get a little brush. See how little that is? That's really a small little brush. What I'm going to do is just to try to stay on the wing. So this is what I'm going to do. I want it to be kind of, you know, the wing to kind of stand out a little bit. So it's got the dots, and that's good. That's fine. From my pan pastels, but I'm going to try to get it to kind of stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to just outline it a little bit with a little Pearl X here and give it a little bit more definition. Okay. All right. I love Pearl X though. Oh, it can absolutely change your whole piece when you work with it. I didn't come in far enough. I'm going to come in a little bit further on the wing. And I'm a mouth breather. I find myself breathing through my mouth way too much. And maybe, you know what, I'm just going to do this. Because it just lightly goes over it, but it'll get a little bit of sparkle. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to come on the beak. And we're going to give that beak a little definition as well. Okay. And I'm going to bring in a different piece of my paper. I'm going to take this off carefully, and I'm going to lay it down here carefully. And I got a little bit something sticking out there. Okay. So I want to remember where my top is, where I want the hole to this. And I'm trying to bend this down a little bit more, the neck. Okay. All right. Let's see if you guys can see it a little bit better. Bring a little bit more light in. Hopefully you can see that. It kind of does go out of focus a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, maybe that's better just to show you that way. And I'm thinking that's all I'm going to do, unless I add just a little bit more up here. Maybe I'll do that. A little bit more on the tail. Just here and here. Kind of in between these a little bit. I don't want to what I don't want to do is to cover up all the black. But I can cover up some of it. And because it's Pearl X, you can kind of see through, but it gives a pretty glimmer. Now when you use Pearl X, once you get it out of the oven, you have to seal it. Or it's gonna kind of come off on you. And you don't want to give something to somebody and have it be getting on their clothes. No, 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 no. Now, when I bring it out, I am going to line it or give it a frame with the black ink like I've been doing. And I'm going to get my pieces out of the I'm going to get my pieces out of my ultraviolet light so I can show you what I'm talking about with the black going around. I think I've shown you that before. So, anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? what was just a plain old cutter can turn into a bird. Not bad. But I don't know that I'll make earrings for it. You could always wear, this one is not on real well. There we go. That's better. Make sure they're all on really well. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, I will cook that. And this again is up here is where my hole will go. So it'll hang fairly straight like that, I think. If you hang it from there. And I want to make sure this stays there. That's better. That's a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to cook that. $2.75 for an hour. But before I take it upstairs to do that, let me show you. I put out a short video yesterday. And I'm going to come back and show you these. Okay. These I'll just turn over. These are also silver on the back. But let me just turn them over so you can see. I've already drilled holes. When you do that, you have to be careful when you put the resin on, or you have to re-drill, which I did have to do a little bit. But these are my new spring creations here. And these earrings go with this guy here. Let's see. And these earrings go with this guy over here. But I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, I think you probably can. But I go around the edge with my black ink. And I generally will use the pad, just the pad itself to do it. But I also have, let me show you what I have. I use this too. I have this thing that is a Tim Holtz, sorry. And he has all these inks that you can buy and so forth, but he has this pad, and if you pull this off, it comes off because it's Velcro. And so I just tap that into my archival ink black ink pad, and then I will just run it around this way as well if I feel like I want to. Actually, this works maybe even better than the pad because it has some give, and then you'll notice that it kind of comes up onto the top a little bit, and I really like that. You don't want to press real hard, or it will get where you don't want it to go. But I was really tickled with these. Let me put this aside here so I can show you this. These I'm going to add a bail to. See if you can come down a little bit. Okay. So this has earrings, this has earrings. The others don't, but you can use these for earrings or whatever you want to use those for. But they're so pretty. I got a new, what's it called? It's a silk screen. And I tried to use, I'll show it to you in the package. I tried, the Sassy Brass Company, it says. I tried to use the ink on it, but the ink really wouldn't work very well. Hopefully you can just see it, the flowers. Isn't that pretty? So I gave up on the ink, and the ink didn't want to come off. But then I used some black paint, and that's what you see here. That's the flowers. So I took some white clay, Sculpey white clay, rolled it out, put this on top of it, put some black ink here, scraped it down. I've got a little scraper, but I think I would use a credit card next time. A credit card would be thinner and sharper. I got this scraper. I got that at Michael's years ago too, but it's a little thicker. I think I'd use a credit card. It'd be a little easier to use. You scrape it off and then get off as much as you possibly can. So you don't need a lot of paint on it. And then you lift it off your clay and voila, you've got these pretty flowers. I just love the flowers. So beautiful. It's another one of those things that nature. It's just nature. I love it, love it, love it. And then what I did is I took pan pastel and I, before cutting out my pieces, I took my pan pastels and I colored by hand, or used the pan pastels, and colored in all of the flowers, which is really pretty. I do have, let's see, let's look at this one since there's kind of a copper in there. I have a copper one that I could use, a pinch bale. Anyway, let me show it to you. It's pretty. Not pretty? But I don't know if I want copper on this, even though there's a little bit. Let's see if I can get that to hold still. It's pretty because it sort of has that copper in here. But I think I'm going to go silver, since I've got the silver on the back of these. Yeah. And then I'll put a black ribbon piece, a black ribbon, with it. So I think that'll look pretty, really pretty. And of course I'll make earrings out of these, so that'll be fun. Anyway, I hope you learned something new today, and we'll see what happens with my little birdie when I bake it. If I really like it, or if I don't like it, or if I change something, I'll let you know. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.